the radio here on Urban View for the month of October, and we're exploring the African influences on Black identity through different lenses, the lenses of ancestry, culture, and thought. And so I'm excited to be back with you on this show, Shirley. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good, Gina. I'm always excited. I look forward to this. And, after last week's show, I'm really pumped up. We had a lot of good feedback from last week. If for those of you that missed it, we focused on the Gullah culture and community from South Carolina. And we had Felicia Rashad was our guest, who everybody loves as an actress and a director, but very passionate about the whole Gullah culture.
Well, she's an expert.
She, an ambassador, actually, of the Penn Center on St. Helena Island. I always get that mixed up. And we also had Victoria Smalls from Penn Center. So it was a great show, and I'm excited about this week's show with Afrofuturism being our topic, and our guest, I'm really excited about her. I always feel like I'm saying excited and great a lot.
Well, nothing wrong with that. We're happy. We're happy. It's important. We're proud to be of African descent and to help people understand our ancestry. I am you know this, but for our listeners, I'm the president and co-founder of AfricanAncestry.com, and we are the pioneers of genetic ancestry tracing for people of African descent. We are the only company that you can use to find out where your ancestry is in Africa before North Carolina, before Virginia, before Jamaica, before the Dominican Republic, and we're very proud of that. We offer 2 tests, or actually we offer 3 tests. 2 of our tests can tell you the specific country and ethnic group in Africa that you share ancestry with, and the 3rd test can tell you how much African ancestry you have, and do you have anything else in there in that mix? Do you have any European? Do you have any Native American? Whatever. And so I love doing this, and the best part of my job is when I get to actually share people's results in person. And so it is an honor that we were able to convince the great Dr. Wilmer Leon III to stay after his show for a few minutes so that we could tell him where he's from. How are you?
I am doing great, thank you. And my son has been asking me every week, Daddy, when are we going to get these results back? When are we going to get these results back? And so I am anxiously awaiting the unveiling of my roots.
Okay, well, you took all 3 tests. So we looked at your overall mix. Mm-hmm. We looked at your father's line, mm-hmm. and we looked at your mother's line.
Okay.
So I want to start with your mix.
Okay.
So the mix is, like I said, it tells you how much of different ancestries you think you have. What do you think your mix is?
I have no clue.
No?
I have absolutely no clue.
Do you think you're 100% African?
Oh, no, because my family is from Louisiana.
Ah.
And so just looking at the variations in skin tone in my family, going back as far back to my great-grandmother, I can tell that, there were some Europeans hanging around the house.
Okay.
You know what, Gina, I want to jump in right here, and first of all, welcome to our show, Dr. Leon.
Thank you.
But just a caution that skin color doesn't necessarily tell you where from.
No.
Keep that in mind.
No, understanding that, but knowing that my family's from Louisiana, particularly with my mother being from New Orleans, mm-hmm. and understanding the history and the cultural variances, that there's a whole lot of Native American that could be there. Of course, French could be there. So that's my understanding the history of the region, mm-hmm. and then looking at the variances because if you were to meet my sister, who's 5 years older than I am, has blonde hair and blue eyes. Mm-hmm. And I mean, she looks about as European as a European could ever look. Mm-hmm. So
That's the beauty of being a person of African descent, I think, in many ways.
Right.
And inherent in us being African American is mixing. So let me tell you what we think.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
So,
Is there a drum roll here?
yeah, we need a drum. We're going to have 3 drums. All right, there you go.
There we go.
So, we found your mix to be 13% East Asian. So 13% of your overall family tree is East Asian in ancestry, 22% European, and so that means you're 65% Sub-Saharan African.
Wow.
In your overall mix. Now, we can't tell you anything more specific than those buckets, but these other 2 tests that you took are going to break
Now,
down some of
the East Asian is a real surprise. Wow. Okay.
And East Asian populations gave rise to indigenous populations here, but it would be interesting to go through your family history some more and see what kind of correlations we find. Now, the next test your son actually took.
Yeah.
So this is our patriclean test. It determines paternal ancestry, father to father to father, using the Y chromosome. He swabbed his cheeks. It was easy and simple.
Yes, it was.
And we found, so it didn't matter whether you took it or he took it. The results are going to be the same. And we found your paternal line, that Leon male line, was part of your European percentage. So we found that lineage among people living in Spain and Portugal today.
Ah, okay. Well, and if we understand the Middle Passage and how people were able to come from the continent to this country, Spain and Portugal are 2 places where we stopped.
Yep, they were major players in that. And now the piece de resistance.
Okay, wait, so this is...
That's your paternal line.
Oh, okay. Oh, there's a certificate.
Yeah, there's a letter. We got a whole package. A letter, a certificate of ancestry. There's one for you and for your son.
Okay.
And then this map of Africa that I'm going to share with you shortly. But we also looked at your maternal ancestry, and that's mother to mother to mother to mother. So these results are the same. It's a separate test, a third test. These results are the same for everybody in your family who comes from your mother's mother.
Okay.
And her mother. Drum roll, please. So the country that we found your maternal line in is in West Africa, in the central part of West Africa. It actually is the only country that has both French and English as an official language. And I'm very excited because I have actually a representative from the country on the line to answer a quick question or 2.
Is this a distant cousin of mine?
Well, we share ancestry with the Tikar people living in Cameroon today.
Oh.
And so I have Mr. Njai Musa, I call him Musa, on the line. He's one of the advisors to the Sultan of the Bamoun Kingdom. And the Bamoun are descendants of the Tikar. So I wanted to have him on the line to welcome you into the Kamerican family.
Welcome back.
Are you there, Musa?
Yes, hi, Ms. Gina, and thank you for inviting me. And the first thing I will say is congratulations to our new teacher.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow.
Congratulations.
Do you have a question? I mean, there's so much he could say, and we have so little time. Is there a specific question that comes to mind for Musa?
Honestly, at the moment, no. I got to think about this.
Well, Musa, can you tell Wilmer briefly what the Tikar are known for?
Actually, that's what I was trying to get to. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, the Tikar are an ethnic group. They are originally called Bum, B-O-U-M, and they migrated from the Nile Valley, and they came and actually settled in the western region of Cameroon. And those Tikar are the ancestors to the following people, the Bamoun, where I'm from, and then so in the northwestern region of Cameroon, and the Mbam in the central region of Cameroon. And what else can I say about Bamun on the Chika is more than 600 years old. And in the case of the Bamun Kingdom, that kingdom was founded in 1394, which means to the 14th century. And we are up to now, we have a dynasty, and the current king is the 19th of the dynasty. So, I mean, we are, so, and every year, so what I can say is we are, I mean, the Bamun Kingdom has had a succession of 19 men crowned king. And we are right now, we are, the Tika, we are really known to be for their articraft. And we are, and also, what can I say? It's very intellect. They're highly intellectual. Yeah, everything that the Tika are known to be for their fine art, their craftsmanship, their music, dance, and festival.
And they're some of the smartest people on the continent.
Lisa, thank you so much for sharing that. I know that every year the Bamun Kingdom has a celebration, and I want to make sure that I put you and Dr. Leon in touch so that you can help him explore more about his Cameroonian roots. So thank you so much for joining us.
And thank you. And knowing this now, because I'm planning a trip to Morocco, and so now I've got to figure out. Thank you. I've just been given a lovely Cameroon T-shirt. Thank you. And no, so I'm planning to come to the continent in July. So I got to figure out how to work Cameroon into the trip, so I can come and meet with people, and we can sit down and.
You'll enjoy it. Gina and I have both been there, and it's probably one of my favorite places on the continent. So you'll
it's known as Africa in miniature, because so much of whatever you find across the continent, you'll find in Cameroon. So it'll be a great experience for you. Thank you so much for sharing your African ancestry.
Real quick, before y'all got a break, why is it that based upon the tests, you're able to make the determination from my mother's side, but you can't make the same determination from my father's side?
I do your father's side.
No, but
your father's mother's side?
Wait a minute. You told me that you're able to trace the Tikar people based upon which test?
The maternal test.
Right.
Your mitochondrial DNA is shared by Tikar people living in Cameroon.
And that came from my mother's side.
Right.
Right. So my question is, why weren't you able to say, doing the paternal test, that I'm related to a particular group?
I did. You're related to people living in Spain and Portugal.
Okay. Father's side.
Right.
It didn't go all the way back to us.
It didn't go back to
Okay.
You were part of the 35% of black men whose Y chromosomes go back to Europe.
Okay, thank you. See, I'm the fastest learner in the slow learners class, so you all got to work with me. Now I got it.
Right. Now you have a comprehensive look. You know that 65% of your entire genetic family tree is African.
Yes.
You know that specifically within that, one lineage goes back to the Tikar people living in Cameroon today.
Got it. And the other side of it goes to Spain and Portugal.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay. Perfect.
All right. Well, thank you for being with us. You know, you're the perfect segue because, we're getting ready to talk to our guest. I'm going to let Shirley tell you who that is.
So we connected with your past, and now we're going to look into the future. So our topic for today is Afrofuturism. We're going to take a break, but we want to tell you that our special guest is Ytasha Womack.
I can't wait to talk to her.
She is the author and Afrofuturist. That's a hard one to say. Her book, Afrofuturism, The World of Black Sci-Fi and Fantasy Culture. We are so looking forward for her to join us, and we're going to take calls too. So you're listening to African Ancestry Radio on Sirius XM Channel 126. We'll be right back.